It's a typical sunny afternoon. The streets are quiet, with only a few cars passing by. Ellen DeGeneres is cruising down a familiar road, heading to a meeting. She's alone in the car, the windows slightly down, enjoying the breeze. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Ellen, like most public figures, is used to the spotlight. The cameras, the fans, the constant attention, it's all part of her world. She's been in Hollywood for years, known for her sharp wit and infectious personality. But today this regular drive is about to turn into something far from ordinary. Out of nowhere, a police officer signals her to pull over. Ellen's first instinct is to check if she's done anything wrong. There's no reason to think she has. She hasn't been speeding, and her car is in good shape. Maybe it's just a routine stop. Maybe he just needs to ask a quick question. But as the officer walks up to her car, Ellen's confusion starts to grow. Why is she being pulled over? Is this a mistake? She rolls the window down, expecting a simple exchange. The officer stands tall, his sunglasses hiding his expression. He doesn't seem like he's in a hurry. His demeanor is calm, but there's something about the way he approaches that feels different. He asks her to step out of the car. Ellen's mind races. What's going on here? Why does it feel like this isn't just a normal stop? She looks at him, unsure. This isn't a scene she's ever imagined herself in. Ellen takes a deep breath as she watches the officer approach her car. Her heart beats a little faster, but she keeps her cool. She's used to public interactions, but this feels different. The officer is walking slowly, his eyes fixed on her as he gets closer. She rolls the window down all the way, a soft breeze blowing through her hair, and offers him a friendly smile. "Good afternoon, officer," she says, trying to keep the conversation light. He doesn't immediately respond with the usual small talk, like "How's your day going?" or "Do you know why I stopped you?" Instead he leans in and asks, "Can you step out of the vehicle, ma'am?" Ellen blinks, surprised. Step out of the vehicle. This isn't something that happens to her, especially not in the middle of a normal day. She scans the officer's face, trying to read him, but his expression is unreadable. There's no immediate indication of why he's stopping her. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe he just wants to check something. "Is everything all right?" she asks, her voice a bit hesitant now. She looks around, wondering if there's something wrong with the car that she missed. The officer doesn't answer her question directly, his stance firm but not threatening. "Please step out of the car," he repeats, more forcefully this time. "I need you to open the trunk." Ellen's eyebrows furrow. Open the trunk. Why? She has no idea what's going on. Her mind is racing. Was there something suspicious about her car? Did they think she was hiding something? It doesn't make sense. She's just a regular person, trying to get to a meeting, like anyone else. "Wait," she starts, trying to reason with him. "Is this really necessary?" The officer doesn't explain. He simply stands there, waiting for her to comply. The situation is starting to feel a little strange, and Ellen can't shake the feeling that something's not right. She looks around once more, but the street is still quiet. No one else seems to be paying attention. Ellen glances at her rearview mirror, wondering if there's something she missed, but there's no turning back now. The officer's request hangs in the air, unanswered. Ellen hesitates for a moment, her mind racing. She's not used to this kind of situation. Usually her public life involves interviews and performances, not police stops. But here she is, standing on the side of the road, unsure of what's going on. The officer waits, his hand resting near his holster. He doesn't seem to be in any rush, but the firmness of his tone tells her this isn't just a casual request. "Open the trunk," he says again, his voice steady but insistent. Ellen takes a slow breath, trying to make sense of it all. She doesn't know what to do. This isn't a regular traffic stop. There's no obvious reason for it. She wonders if this is some sort of misunderstanding. Maybe the officer has confused her with someone else. Still, she tries to keep calm. "Are you sure you want me to open the trunk?" she asks, her voice a little shaky now. "What's this about?" The officer doesn't answer, he just stands there watching her. The silence between them is awkward, and the tension in the air is growing thicker by the second. Ellen feels a knot in her stomach. She can't shake the feeling that something is off. What is he expecting to find in her trunk? She looks at the officer, trying to get a sense of what he's thinking, but his expression is hard to read. There's no hint of doubt or hesitation in his eyes. He seems completely sure of himself. I said open the trunk, he repeats, his tone now a bit more forceful. Ellen's mind races again. What could he possibly think she's hiding? She's just a celebrity on her way to a meeting. It doesn't make any sense. Still, she's not about to make things worse by arguing. So, with a deep sigh, she reaches over to unlock the trunk, hoping this will be over soon. As she gets out of the car and walks around to the back, she notices the officer keeps his eyes on her every move. She glances down at the trunk, wondering what he's expecting to find inside. But Ellen isn't aware of one crucial detail. There's a camera hidden nearby, recording the entire interaction. As Ellen walks toward the back of the car, her mind is still racing. She opens the trunk, not sure what she's supposed to be looking for. There's nothing in there that stands out, just a few bags and personal items. She glances over her shoulder at the officer, who's standing by her car, watching her closely. He seems calm, but Ellen can't shake the sense that something's off. She opens the trunk, fully, half expecting the officer to tell her to take out everything. But instead, he just stands there, his arms crossed. He doesn't seem interested in the contents. Ellen tries to keep her composure, but a part of her is wondering what's really going on. Why is he so fixated on this trunk? Why her? Suddenly something catches her eye. For the briefest moment, she spots a tiny glint in the reflection of her rear-view mirror. It's almost invisible at first, but then she sees it more clearly. A small black lens pointed in her direction. Her heart skips a beat. A camera. She freezes for a split second, the pieces falling into place. Ellen's eyes flick back to the officer, who's still standing by the car, acting as though nothing unusual is happening. She feels a wave of realization wash over her. She's been recorded this whole time. The whole exchange, the questioning, the trunk, everything has been captured on film. At first she feels a little unsettled. Why would someone be filming this? Was it a prank? But then the thought hits her. This could be a setup. Someone is watching her, and the officer has no idea he's the one being filmed. She can't help but feel a sense of unease, as she takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. Ellen doesn't let the shock show on her face. She knows she needs to stay composed. She's been in the spotlight long enough to understand the importance of keeping her cool, even in strange situations like this. As she slowly closes the trunk, she looks up again, scanning the area for any other signs of cameras or people watching. But everything around her seems calm, almost eerily so. She turns back to the officer, who's still watching her with a blank expression, oblivious to the fact that his every move is being recorded. The realization hits her hard. This moment, this interaction, is not what it seems. It's being watched by someone, somewhere. Ellen wonders how long the officer will stay oblivious to the hidden camera capturing every awkward tense second of the encounter. The officer stands motionless as Ellen closes the trunk, his eyes never leaving her. He seems convinced that something suspicious is happening, but Ellen can't understand why. She's been calm, respectful, and cooperative. Still, he's treating this like a serious investigation, and it's starting to feel more uncomfortable by the minute. Ellen can feel the tension in the air. She wants to ask him what exactly he's looking for, but she knows that would only escalate things. Instead, she stands there, hoping he'll just let her go, but the officer doesn't seem to be in a hurry to wrap this up. "Why did you pull me over, officer?" Ellen asks again, her voice steady but tinged with frustration. She's trying to remain polite, but this situation is becoming more bizarre by the second. The officer just stares at her, his expression unchanging. "You know the drill," he replies vaguely, as if that somehow explains everything. But it doesn't. Ellen tries to process his words. What drill? What could he possibly be looking for in her trunk? Her thoughts race, but she doesn't speak again, not wanting to provoke him further. The officer steps closer, peering into her car, as if searching for something, anything. He motions for Ellen to stand back while he leans in, peering at the floor mats. the seat, even the glove compartment. There's no sign of a search warrant, no official explanation, just an officer acting like he's inspecting a criminal's car. Ellen feels a knot in her stomach as she stands there, helpless to change the situation. "What's the problem?" she asks again, trying to sound calm. "Why are you treating this like a crime scene?" The officer gives no answer, but his frustration is starting to show. His eyes narrow, and he sighs impatiently, as if she's the one wasting his time. Ellen, now standing on edge, begins to wonder just how far this will go. She keeps her posture neutral, not wanting to show any weakness, even though inside she feels a growing sense of unease. Why is he acting like this? Why won't he just let her go? And all the while the hidden camera continues to roll, capturing every move, every word. The officer's growing irritation, Ellen's confusion, it's all being documented, though he has no clue. As the officer continues to inspect her car, Ellen remains calm, carefully controlling her emotions. She can feel the tension in her chest, but she knows that reacting with anger or fear could make things worse. She's been in stressful situations before, but this feels different. There's something about this officer's persistence that doesn't sit right with her. Still, she knows the best way to handle it is to stay composed and avoid escalating things. Ellen takes a deep breath and steps back a little, giving the officer more space, but also creating distance between them. She doesn't want to seem confrontational, but she doesn't want to appear submissive either. By maintaining a neutral posture, she hopes to avoid giving the officer any reason to get more aggressive. "Is there something specific you're looking for?" she asks, keeping her voice even. It's not an accusation, just a question. She's trying to open a dialogue, hoping that if she gets him talking, he might explain himself. Maybe he'll realize that this is all a mistake. The officer doesn't respond right away. He pauses, then turns toward her, still focused on his task. There's a brief moment of silence between them, and for the first time, Ellen thinks he might actually be reconsidering his approach. Maybe he's starting to doubt himself, or maybe he's just unsure of what to do next. But before she can fully process this thought, he speaks again. "You're being difficult," he mutters, almost under his breath. It's not a strong accusation, but it's enough to make Ellen's blood run cold. She knows he's getting frustrated with her calm responses, and that could lead to trouble. She doesn't let his words get to her. Instead, she keeps her tone polite, but firm. "I'm just trying to understand why this is happening," she says. "I haven't done anything wrong, I'm just trying to get on with my day." Ellen's calmness seems to be working in her favor. The officer is growing more irritated with each passing moment, but he's also slowing down his movements. He's less aggressive than before, but she can tell he's still not entirely convinced that she's innocent. Her strategy is simple: remain calm, stay collected, and never let her emotions take control. If she can make it clear that she's not intimidated, maybe the officer will realize there's nothing to investigate. And as the minutes pass, she knows the hidden camera is still capturing everything. Whatever happens next, she has to stay in control. The minutes stretch on, each one heavier than the last. Ellen's patience is starting to wear thin, but she doesn't show it. She maintains her calm, her voice as steady as ever, though her thoughts are swirling. The officer's presence is starting to feel more like an intrusion than a routine stop. The way he keeps looking at her, the way he's examining every inch of her car, it's as if he's convinced she's hiding something. But Ellen knows she's done nothing wrong. She's just an ordinary person, caught up in a strange situation. As she watches the officer move around her car, she feels the weight of his gaze, his suspicion, unfounded though it is, pressing down on her. It's becoming harder to stay composed. Then, a sound breaks the silence, a car door opening. Ellen glances over, and her heart skips. A second officer, this one standing off to the side, approaches the scene. He's holding something, a small device in his hand. At first, Ellen doesn't recognize it, but as he steps closer, it becomes clear: the device is a camera, aimed directly at her. The realization hits her like a wave. The officer who's been questioning her, has no idea that he's been filmed the entire time. That tiny camera, hidden just out of sight, has captured every moment of his actions, the insistence, the questioning, even his frustration. Ellen can feel her pulse quicken as she processes the situation. This is no longer just an encounter with a cop, it's a moment of revelation. The second officer holds up the camera, and for the first time, Ellen sees the look on the first officer's face shift. His stern expression falters, he's no longer sure of himself, he doesn't immediately react, but there's a flicker of confusion in his eyes. "Do you know you're being filmed?" the second officer asks, his tone more neutral than confrontational. The first officer freezes. For a moment, he's caught off guard, completely unaware of the hidden camera that's been rolling this entire time. Ellen watches as the officer's face changes, the reality of the situation dawning on him. His posture shifts from authority to uncertainty. He glances around, as if trying to figure out where the camera might have been hidden. The color drains from his face as he realizes the truth. He's been recorded every step of the way. Ellen stays silent, allowing the moment to unfold. There's no need to say anything. The hidden camera has done the work for her. The officer now knows that everything he said, everything he did, is captured on film. It's too late to pretend it didn't happen. The officer shifts his weight, looking anywhere but at the camera, his earlier confidence completely gone. Ellen takes a deep breath, the tension in her body slowly starting to release. She's been through a lot in the past few minutes, but now, the power dynamic has shifted. The officer's initial authority is gone. Now, it's his turn to be under scrutiny.